Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today I've got a breakdown of each team from the British Pokemon League Premier Division. It's an objective breakdown, so it's based on the Pokemon alone, and not so much how those Pokemon team up together, or the actual skill level of the player involved. This idea was given to me by Guma22. He has a version of this up on his channel based on the VDLV which I was in. So I thought I'd put my own spin on it and bring it to the British Pokemon League. So first off, I need to establish the ground rules. So how it works is each team earns points for certain criteria that they meet. So there's unique types, so there's 18 points available here, because there's 18 different types of Pokemon in the game. Base stat average above 85. There's a total of 5 points available. I take into account all stats except speed, because speed is one of the stats which is easier to control. So you might be making a slower team on purpose because of Trick Room, or you might be making an average base speed team because you want to fight in both, and you get the Tailwind. So the base stats I look at are HP, attack, defense, special attack and special defense. And then to take into account speed, we're looking for specific moves such as Tailwind and Trick Room, both earn a point each. Rage Powder and Follow Me both earn a point. Rage Powder is, in my opinion, as strong as Follow Me, because if you're worried about a Rage Powder on a team, you're going to end up giving something a safety goggles, taking away an item that might otherwise want. Whereas Follow Me, you're always stuck looking at that one, but you can give yourself an item to be able to hit that Follow Me user harder. That also benefits hitting all the other mons pretty hard. Prankster or a Terrain and Unburden. So you get 1 point. If you have both, you only get 1 point. But so Prankster obviously means that status moves get a +1 priority. Terrain and Unburden essentially are double the speed of a mon, making it pretty damn fast on the field. So it'll be like it's got a Prankster. It won't have the priority, but it'll most certainly be going first under the speed tiers. Then we've got speed 130 plus. Essentially, I look at 130 as the kind of speed where you don't need speed control so much. If you've got 130 speed, you're going to probably be hitting first in most matches. Speed 35 and below. I think 35 is a good judgment point for Trick Room. There are really slow mons out there, like Fungus with 15. There's a Ferroseed out there with 10, but I think 35 is a pretty good base stat to go on. I think Muzdale gets 35, and that's things a monster in Trick Room. So I think that was a good area to look at. Fake Out, massive in this game. Like, the only way you can stop Fake Out really is Quick Guard, Protect, or Psychic Terrain. There are a few other ways, but yeah, I think Fake Out's huge in this one, obviously with no Dynamax involved. If you ain't really got a way of stopping Fake Out, you're going to get faked out. Wide Guard, again, think it's really big in this format. Being able to hit both mons is huge, and if you've got a way of stopping that, then it's something to be looked into. Then there's Terrain. I personally think Terrain is probably a bit more important than Weather in this format, because once you've got terrain up, it's not often you see the terrain moves be used or come out, whereas weather moves you see mons carrying Sunny Day and Rain Dance quite often, whereas the terrain, if you've got it and there's no other terrain, it usually sticks around the entire game. But that's the only other point. Weather, so if you've got a mon you can send out and set up the weather, get a point. And then a weather abuser, so that can be, even if you don't have the specific weather but you've got an abuser there, you get a point. If you've got multiple abusers, you only get 1 point. Intimidate, there is someone in our league with multiple intimidate mons. Sorry Dave, you only get 1 point. And then competitive, defiant or clear body, these moves all essentially make, especially competitive and defiant, and make people be wary not to drop stats. Clear body I think is really good just because you can't drop its stats overall. And then having at least 2 megas also earns you a point, because it means that your opponent has to prep for 2 megas, and sometimes these megas can do 2 very different things. So it's good for you if you're making your opponent prep more for stuff that might not come. So that gives a total of 37 points available, and we'll get into it. So in the 12th spot we've got Dr. Dave and his Scrimmit Colossals. Up there is his total points, which equates to 18. I'm not going to break down for you the table, you can see it there. I'll leave it on the screen for a while so you can check it out. And I think the mon in his team that most people are going to be wary of will be the Mega Khan. Mega Khan obviously hits twice. I think his first time does 100% damage, second time does 25% of what the 100% does. But the important thing about that is by hitting twice it also breaks Sash. If he has stat boosting moves, he gets double the stat boost. If he has stat dropping moves, he gets double the stat drop. So there's a lot of control that can be done with Kangaskhan here. It's probably a basic pick from his entire team, but I think it's definitely one thing that we've all got to be wary of when facing Dr. Dave. Again, just because you're bottom doesn't mean anything, it's just an objective review. So I'm very excited to see how Dr. Dave pulls his team together this season. In 11th with a total of 20 points is our mono steel team, the Welsh Warriors and Matrix. So one thing that I have to say here is the maximum unique types he could have got was 12 and he's managed to get 10, and with those 10 he's also picked up quite a lot of points, considering there's not really that many there's not any steel terrain sets, I don't believe, or weather mons. There are a couple of abusers. I think there's an intimidate. Yeah, there is an intimidate mon, but it got sniped quite early. And no base still has 130 speed plus. I don't think actually any still mega or otherwise has 130 plus speed. So he couldn't have achieved that one, but he's managed to pick up 20 points in total, which is quite impressive. So well done, Matrix. The Pokemon in his team I'm most worried about is Heatran. He's got the Trick Room and he's got the Tailwind, and in this gen this thing learns Eruption, so definitely something to be very scared of. It's got 130 base special attack with stab eruptions coming out of it, and he's got options to set Sunny Day as well, so that thing can probably hit and take anyone out. So it's definitely something to be wary of. Again, just because he's a mono steel team, it's not going to be a case of you'll be able to bring a ground or a fight move and win. He's got ways around essentially every kind of attack coming. So yeah, not taking into account him as a player, but yeah, 11th spot. So on to the next one. 10th place, also on a total of 20 points, is the Bulu Boys. Now they take the place ahead of Matrix because their base stat average is higher than Matrix's. He's got 3, I think Matrix had 2. So that's why I've put the Bulu Boys above Matrix. No other reason, but I think having higher base stats to begin with is a slight advantage. Anyway, yeah, so he's got a grand total of 20 points, and I think the Mega that we've all got to be wary of is the Mega Blastoise. Not just Mega Blastoise but Blastoise in general. With Follow Me, it can allow setup for some of his other mons. It's gets Shell Smash. He's got other Follow Me users and on his team as well, so he can try and set that up and then hit stupid powerful water spouts or surfs, muddy waters, whatever he's really going with. He's got a very powerful mon there in his team. I've seen some synergies with his mons, but again, don't take that into account in this review. So good luck, Matt, with the season, and I'll see you I think it's the end of the month, at the end of it. So next up we've got Dogsy in 9th with his Shadow Kings. He managed to pick up a total of 21 points this season. He's got both fast mode and slow mode. He doesn't have Tailwind, so he loses a point there, but he's got Tapu Koko with Electro Web, so he's got ways of slowing you down. So it's not so much slowing you down as speeding him up as it is slowing you down. But he's also got Trick Room, and he's got a very, very solid Trick Room mode. So yeah, he's got a pretty well balanced team in general. A couple things missing, but it's definitely a strong team and one that I'm wary of. His mon that I'm most worried about is the Tapu Koko, just because of how lightning fast it is. And I've seen firsthand how damaging it can be. So yeah, good luck with your season, Dogsy. Okay, 8th we've got the returning Latvian, and he's got again a total of 21. So he's gone above Dogsy on the fact that he's got more unique typings than Dogsy. The more unique typings allows for better pivoting, so that's why I've given it to Lat in this case. We can see what he's got there. I think a mon that everyone has to be prepared for is the Primarina. It's considerably bulky, and he's got ways of making it even bulkier. So I'm watching out for that, because after a couple of defense boosts, that thing doesn't go down. So something to watch out for, but that's not his only threat. There are others, but I thought Primarina stuck out most in his team. And in 7th place, just missing out in top half, we've got the Tendo Melmetals. It's got an average of 23 points. The mon I've picked that I believe to be something to always prep for is the Whimsicott. Obviously I had it last season, and people were usually not prepping to try and take it out so quick, but I ran it offensively quite a few times, and it managed to pick up quite a few kills as well. So that thing, although its stats aren't too impressive in either attack, it's just something to be aware of. It's fast, it's got a huge move pool for the prankster set, and it's just something to be really aware of. It's not one of those mons which just comes out, sets out Tailwind and dies. There's loads it can do for support. So yeah, he's got a pretty solid team overall, especially considering he drafted it after everybody else. So it's definitely something for everyone to be aware of. He's got loads of abilities in there, and I won't break down his team in this, but yeah, well done on your team pick, Tendo, and I'll see you when we battle. Into the top half now, and to kick things off, we've got the Swindon Rookies. Again, another team on 23 points. Literally, they got split by the base stat average. Tendo had 1 and Rookies have 2. So it was pretty close. They've both got solid teams. I think in Swindon Rookie D's team, the one that you have to fear most would be the Mega Scizor. It's his most powerful mon, and other than being hit by a fighting attack, that thing doesn't go down like at all. It's going to take 2 or 3 hits to finally bring it down, and to do that, you're going to let it hit you. Those Technician boosted bullet punches, bug bite, dual wing beat, they're just going to hit hard for days. So or he'll be throwing weak moves at you, but they're boosted weak moves and coming off of its massive attack stat. Something you've got to be prepared for, and get ready to take a hit before you take it out. Yeah, overall it's a really solid Mega, but it's his only Mega, so you know he's going to be bringing that one if he's to bring his Mega every week. Okay, 5th place goes to Silly and his Long Island Goomies with 24 points. Very solid team here. The mon I've picked on his side that I think we've got to look out for will be the Sableye. It sets weather for him. He's got his own weather setter anyway, but this thing sets weather. It's got fake out, it's got quash. Quash is probably one of the best speed controls in the game. It just doesn't work on dark types if you're a Sableye. So yeah, so like if you're worried about a certain mon going first, you slow it down, you hit it hard, hopefully take it out, and Sableye is just there laughing. And not only that, but Sableye's got a huge move pool to take advantage of with its stats, so Thunder Wave, Will-O-Wisp, Curse if you really want to try something crazy, and this is Silly, so it's very possible, and it enables a lot of his team, so yeah, definitely a mon to look out for in Silly's team, but he's got others, so yeah, on to the next one. Right, into the top 4, and we've got Space City PC with a total of 26 points. We've got a clutch of teams here all on 26 points, and Space City gets 4th spot because of his base stat average, mons being 2, which is actually the least out of the top 4. He's got a really solid team overall. The Mega Charizard, being either type, is definitely a mon to look out for, and that's why I picked it as his mon to watch out for. Like, you've got to prepare for essentially 3 different mons: a base Charizard, a Mega Charizard X, and a Mega Charizard Y. Now, most of the time he will probably be going for the Y form for his sunny day, but who knows, you just got to be wary of that, so it's a mon to be very careful of. He's at average 26 points and got a very, very solid team on his side, so good picks, dude. I shall see you this week when we battle. Okay, and into the top three, we've got Newcastle Thunderous and with Big Dog Dave. He's got a total of 26 points and he managed to pick up 15 unique typings, which is the most typings any team has, which is great for pivoting, which he's going to be doing a lot with the team he's picked out. He's got a great team on his hand, and he's got both forms of speed control. Hasn't got that breakneck speed of 130 which you're looking for, but yeah, he's definitely got a solid team on his hand, and he's one that I think is going to be the biggest threat is that Indeed Mail. I've used it in 3 different leagues, and it's just such a good mon in my opinion. It can be ran as choice scarfs for the fast hitting hard expanding forces, or choice specs for really hard hitting expanding forces. Support, it's got so much going for it. Obviously you don't like seeing the dark types, but when your opponent doesn't have any dark types, this thing's just going to start running through teams. Yeah, so well done, Dave. Looking forward to battling you. And in the number 2 spot is myself with the South Croydon Swords, with 26 points in total. My team has the highest 85 base stat average with 4, which is why I take over Meme and Dave. So I'm not being biased, I'm following the formula I made, and I didn't make the formula to benefit myself, I swear. So yeah, second spot, I did it, which makes sense because I kind of looked at this when I was building my team and tried to pick up everything. So it was in the team plan. I didn't grab everything I wanted, didn't grab the weather setter, opting for Mega Glalie. So yeah, just something to look out for. And finally, in the top spot, once again, we've got Aaron T. Marshall and his Inglorious Surfers. He's got points in almost everything except the Prankster or Terrain Unburden. I know he was after some Unburden ones, but they both got picked up before he could grab either of them. So he would have managed to accumulate 29 points, hiding everybody else by a way if that happened. Luckily it didn't. The downside with Aaron's team was, although it's hitting like points everywhere almost, is his base stat average is 85 for only 1. So he's got all the tools, but let's see how he does it. And that's it from my analysis of the teams, guys. I hope this is going to help out in some prepping. So all that's really left to say is good luck and have fun. The matches will be starting this week, and I wish all of you best of luck. And hopefully RNGesus doesn't show up and ruin everybody's day this season. Bye everyone.